So we rescued Doya in February of 2017. It was just as the sanctuary was beginning, and we got this phone call. We had just rescued 2 goats a couple of months before, and there was this pig. He was 6 months old at FFA at Bowie High School and needed somebody to step up to save him. We knew nothing about farm animal rescue other than these 2 random goats, Bertha and Cookie, we had just taken in. But we were getting the call, we had this space. We said yes. We went and bought a little dinky trailer, went and picked up Doya the next day, and that changed everything. My name is Chris Fullerwig. I am the Executive Director and Co-Founder, along with my wife Angela, of Austin Farm Sanctuary. We are here today to talk about Doyapalooza, an amazing event coming up on the 4th of July to celebrate the 250 animal residents here of Austin Farm Sanctuary in honor and memory of the pig that started it all. When Doya joined the sanctuary in February of 2017, he quickly became like my big baby, and I had this husky Finn for many years before that was like my boy, my dog, and then Doya entered my world and became kind of similar. We would lay in the backyard, I could explore his earlobes and his eyelashes and his absurd amount of nipples, and I just got to see the depth of Doya in the same way I did Finn, and that bond continued for nearly a decade as he grew to be a 750-pound gentle giant that ran Big Piglandia, but not with force or fear, but with love. I was gentle to everybody that he met, not just me, but all of our visitors, and is an ambassador for a lifetime to the work that we do in the testament of these animals.
So Wally's got a lot going on. Wally was surrendered to us at about 2 weeks old. So he was born at a pig farm, developed sepsis very early on, and it led to him having a bunch of infections throughout his joints. So this front left leg, you can see he treats it a little gingerly. He had to get 9 surgeries before he was just 1 year old in order to get all of the infections out of his joints. They were in his elbow and his wrist and his back legs. He recovered from that. We're talking back in 2021, had a great time, was doing well. And then in February of 2023, we came out into the field and Wally had broken his femur. So actually February of 2024, so 2 years ago now. Wally had broken his femur, his back right leg, he just couldn't use it. He was walking around on 3 legs, kept falling down. We had a vet come out, x-ray on site. We took him to Texas A&M. You can imagine nobody's ever done a femur surgery on a pig. They're all killed at 6 months old, let alone invested tens of thousands of dollars into to heal. They said that they would do an experimental procedure with us. They had done it for horses and Great Danes, so theoretically it could work for him. There was no other chance, so we took this shot in the dark. Now Wally has a 14-inch plate in his back right leg and his femur that's been there for 2.5 years now, and he's living the dream.
So last year in March of 2025, we lost Doya after 8.5 amazing years. And in his honor, we wanted to set up an event. So we hosted the first Doyapalooza at our friend's Hotel Vegas in East Austin. It was great. Our community came together to support the sanctuary, to support our silent auction, to fundraise for the Doya Fund. And it was cathartic for me as Doya's daddy to get to have this celebration of his life. And we're excited to do it again. And this time we decided let's bring it to the home that Doya built, our 95 acres. So here at the space is where we're going to be hosting all of the individuals, and we're hoping to increase our impact even more than we were last year. A number of bands lined up, vendors, market. It's going to be quite large compared to what we had last year, but large also in what we look about in our impact. We'll be raising $30,000 for the Doya Fund. We're hoping to get some of that through silent auction, through ticket sales, and then through on-site donations with people looking to join our family. During Doyapalooza, we honor Doya, the 250 residents of the sanctuary, but we are specifically there to fundraise for the Doya Fund. The Doya Fund is a medical fund that allows us to have emergency rescue, to provide a lifetime of care, and to be able to have rapid response. For example, we took in Meadow. She was on the side of the road, emaciated. Turns out she had CL. She's got all these things. She needed us to not just care about her when she was a cute little sick baby on the side of the road, but when she's 15 years old and still working through these ailments, these diseases, she needs us there to steward her bodies. So Doya Fund is exactly that. It's creating opportunity for rescue facilitation of a lifelong of care. And when Wally breaks his femur at 4 years old, we're able to do something about it because we have the funds to be able to say yes. So Doyapalooza is in celebration of these animals, but it's also in protecting and stewarding them through the Doya Fund. The Doya Fund has been transformational. When we say yes to an animal, we are potentially, if they're a cow, saying yes to 3 decades of care. We can't make those decisions lightly. So the Doya Fund has created a base of considerations. Like, for example, since we've created it, Muffin has come to join the sanctuary. Muffin was 5 days old, sick and blind at a cattle farm. But because we were able to say yes to her, we didn't have to wait for donations to come in. We could just say yes. She got the immediate care she needed. She was at the ICU. 3 weeks later, she was actually seeing again and healing at the sanctuary.
This is Muffin. She was brought to the sanctuary very sick at 5 days old and blind. Spoiler alert, she is no longer blind. So she was at the ICU at Texas A&M for about 3 weeks, got the proper antibiotics and care, that the scarring that kind of happened over her eyes went away. The sepsis resided. We got her happy and healthy. And now she's living here with Copper's crew, living the dream, a little mad that she's being weaned, aren't you? We wish that when we rescued individuals, we could take them and their mommies. Most of the time, you can imagine farmers will surrender the babies to us, but we're unable to get the mamas freed. So we play a little bit of a surrogate mama for them. And when she wants milk, she thinks that she needs to badger us for it. Right, yeah, you so excited, you wanna play? You wanna play?
As we've grown as an organization, one of the costs that continues to go up because we have more space, more residents, there's more needs, they're aging, is our veterinary bills and just our general medical costs. We're averaging about $10,000 monthly on medical costs. And you can imagine we're happy to invest that. That means that we're providing exceptional care, but that's gonna grow as everybody ages and as the sanctuary capacity increases. And so thinking through and planning around the budget around our medical costs is the most important thing that we do on a daily, weekly, and monthly basis, is looking at that, making sure we have the funds to provide the care that we've committed to for these animals. So, a lay of the land of what our schedule is for Doyapalooza. Saturday, July 4th, we're going to start early at 10 a.m., beat the heat, go all the way till about 3 p.m. You're welcome to arrive anytime in between. Gates officially open at 10 a.m., and you can begin roaming. Self-guided tours around the sanctuary start then. At 11 o'clock, I'm going to give an address at the front and then kick off a guided tour that I will take everybody on. During that time up front, we will have music played by a lovely duo that's been out here a lot of times at the sanctuary. We'll head on down about 11:30, make our way to the middle of the sanctuary to begin the Watermelon Jamboree. So we've got Webster's Trio is going to be playing music at our Med Barn stage, which is super exciting to say. We're going to wander around, and all throughout the sanctuary, we're going to have Watermelon Jamboree ticket stations. So what that looks like is we partner with our friends over at Good Pop. They are supporting us by bringing a ton of watermelons out, more like 5 tons probably. We'll have them stationed throughout the sanctuary. You will be able to make a donation, and in response, you get a ticket. When you're looking to grab a watermelon, you'll go up to a station, hand in a ticket to a team member, toss it over the fence. If you've never fed a watermelon to a pig, to a water buffalo, or to a cow, you're not gonna wanna miss it. They just crack it on their own, or you can break it in half and throw it across. It is an amazing time. While the Watermelon Jamboree is happening, music will still be going on. Thomas and Hall will be getting us kicked off around 1:15. And then after them, at about 2:15, Flags, local Austin band, will be playing as well. So we'll have that. There'll be DJs supporting all throughout the day. So it's a really music-centric event with all the concerts happening. And then lots and lots of watermelons. Of course, you'll be walking the 95 acres, meeting all 250 residents. I'll be sharing their stories, as well as our staff and volunteers will be around. And finally, we will be fundraising for the Doya Fund. Not to mention the market, the amazing barbecue, vegan, of course, it's gonna be provided by Billy Pete's. Pastries provided by our friends at Bakers of Tomorrow, and many, many others. We look forward to seeing you there Saturday, July 4th, 10 to 4. Get tickets so we can know you're gonna be on your way. So if you can't attend Doyapalooza in person, we will have a ton of footage coming from that so you can enjoy the sanctuary after the fact. But ways you can get involved and support the sanctuary, you can always check in us on social media at Austin Farm Sanctuary and all the different places so you can see what we're doing here and know who you're going to support. And if you want to support us, joining our family is a virtual group of people. You get monthly updates and kind of insider scoop of rescues and things that we're doing. Or if you just want to make a donation today towards the Doya Fund, there's a link on our homepage. There's a link to it in our bio from all of these videos. You can engage, find austinfarmsanctuary.org/Doya Fund, and you will find every way to support the residents here at AFS.